Well, that one sells tickets, that one's a good wrestler. And they haven't got an emotional connection with him, they got an emotional connection with him to the point people part with their money. I used to go to WWE house shows and there would be an advertisement because they'd run a story and either there was an injury and there'd be a piece of paper on the front window of the arena saying, "We regret to inform you that The Undertaker will not be attending tonight. Refunds will be given for one person." That is when you're an attraction. When your name is on the marquee, tickets get sold.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Timestamps are down in the description box below if you want to get directly into the Dynamite review. Otherwise, fuck with me for a moment. Link is down in the description box below. Tiffany Stratton breaks silence on shoot promo with Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair turned a lot of heads with their intense promo battle on the April 4th, 2025 edition of WWE SmackDown. For the first time since the much talked about segment, which saw both go off script multiple times before things were all said and done, Tiffany Stratton has broken her silence. The WWE Women's Champion appeared on the Babyface podcast this week to promote her title defense against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 41, and during the interview, she spoke about the memorable April 4th TV segment. And I quote from Tiffany Stratton, "Being so new into this business and being so new as champion, I don't think she really expected me to stand up to her, and I don't think she expected me to almost clap back," Stratton said of her off-the-cuff exchanges with Flair on SmackDown last Friday night. "All I have to say is, it's live TV. Stakes are high." Stratton continued, "We're going into WrestleMania. I have the title. I want to keep the title. I'm going to pull out every stop that I can, and people want to see our match. I think we did a very good job of getting people wanting to see our match and invested into our story. Now, I'm ready to put on the best women's match ever and ready to go to war." So that was her comments. End of the article. Blah, 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 blah. The fact that, can we put this to bed now? Can we put this to rest? People are saying things like, "Devontae, I don't think you understand. This is absolutely a shoot. They hate each other. They want to break each other. They want to kill each other." It's a work. Folks, it's a fucking work. There's nothing you can tell me anything else that's different. It's a work. They purposely went out of their way to cut the segment so it can make it look more official. You can do things like that, folks. That's perfectly fine. You can easily cut the segment in order to add legitimacy to the fact that this happens to be a shoot. Off script, off the cuff, all this other kind of bullshit. Come on. Now, granted, don't let me rain on anyone's parade, okay? I'm just talking to you guys because, most of you are of age, right? We're all adults here, okay? None of us are R. Kelly victims, okay? We all understand how this goes, right? It ain't like I'm going to a little kid and I'm telling him, "Hey, that magician right there, he's working you. It's fake, kid. Magicians, they're nothing," okay? It ain't like I'm going to a little kid, "Santa Claus is not real. The Easter Bunny isn't real," okay? We're all fucking adults at the end of the day. We know wrestling is scripted. We know it's a work. We know it's fake. And I'm telling you, it's fucking fake. There's no way Tiffany Stratton is going on a podcast and talking about the dreaded segment without getting some kind of confirmation from WWE. If you don't think WWE or anybody who's scheduling this interview didn't go to the guys in the interview and not tell them, "Hey, we don't want to talk about this segment," and they still went out of their way to talk about the segment, you got to be out of your fucking minds. That was a WWE call. The fact that Tiffany Stratton is even talking about the segment lets you know that it's not legitimate. Now, kudos on WWE and Triple H. It feels like they're having an easier time blurring the lines, and it kind of feels like they're playing more into the dirt sheet culture and leaking things to them on purpose so they can work the crowd. Or, even better, I would love for this to be the case, flat out working the dirt sheets so they can believe that it actually happens to be the case, so they can sell it to the audience, because WWE knows if the dirt sheet says it, then automatically it has to be real. But I would like to think that my audience is a lot more smarter than that. I know for me personally, I've been worked a couple of times and I'm not falling for it ever again. I'm not going to do it. Nada. All right. There's no way they're going to go out of their way and they're just going to do whatever the fuck they want to do on WWE television. I'll grant you this. How about this? What if we agree on this? Let's just say hypothetically it was a shoot, right? Hypothetically it was a shoot. It was a work, by the way, folks. It was a worked shoot. I will grant you as much as that. I don't think it's to that degree, to be honest with you, but What if I meet you in the middle and I say something on the lines that it was a work shoot, right? What if I say that they told Tiffany Stratton to go out there and really just speak her mind? You know, if Charlotte Flair says something, clap back at her. If Charlotte probably most likely has something to talk about with Tiffany Stratton backstage and told her to talk about whatever she wants to talk about or do whatever she wants to do in order to help get over the story, because the story in itself has been the drizzling shits. This has been a garbage story. And now all of a sudden they do this angle on television where they're going off script. Now it feels a little bit more like it's theirs, right? Now it feels like this feud has a bit of an identity attached to it. Right? All the real life circumstances that's surrounding Charlotte Flair's life, they're going to use it as ammunition in order to get the story over and give something for Tiffany Stratton to sink her teeth into. It's pretty obvious, okay? It's a fucking work. At best, a work shoot. But to think that it's a legitimate shoot, that Tiffany just went out there on her own, no direction whatsoever, and decided to shoot off the... Just, blue, gonna shoot you right there in the head. Like... No, that's not the case. They're not going to let Tiffany do that. And if you need any more confirmation, like I said, she jumped on this podcast and she talked about it. She talked about it. Again, one more time. If you think an unsanctioned, nothing that's related to WWE podcast is going to be allowed to have a guest on their podcast and openly talk about something that WWE does not want talked about, if you don't believe any of the producers or agents aren't going to tell that podcast, A, don't bring it up, or B, tell Tiffany, for an example, hey, let's not talk about that, you got to be out of your fucking mind. And I'm more so leaning towards the earlier one, not the latter one, that they're going to tell them not to talk about it off rip. So hopefully this puts this to bed. Hopefully you guys still enjoy the programming. Again, not the guy to show you the magician's hand or tell you that Santa Claus isn't real or that Pokemons aren't Digimons or vice versa. But yeah, no, it's a work. So we're good now? A-okay? Thumbs up? All right, getting into the review. Let go. Okay, what was any of this? I couldn't even follow half the shit that was going on in multiple segments. I don't. What the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? What is this? What was any of this? The show kicked off with Jon Moxley and more of his incoherent, rambling bullshit about what? I don't know. He's just talking. Words are coming out of his mouth, but none of these words are meaningful. None of these words have any justified reasoning, or it's just worse. It's just incoherent babbling. Like, dude, I heard crackheads behind my house argue over who take this is that sounded more coherent than what the fuck Jon Moxley was talking about. It was literally just incoherent fucking drivel. I mean, he could have actually said, and I would have actually understood that more than what the fuck he was trying to get across in this backstage segment that they recorded earlier on in the day, I guess, right? Nevertheless, though, when he was done with his diarrhea shooting directly out of his shithole that he calls a mouth, he comes out to the ring with the, fucking Ronda Rousey with less charisma, right? They come out to the ring, they have a match, but who's the match against? Oh, you didn't know? Well, you better call somebody. Shibata, the wrestler. I wrestle. I'm gonna grapple you. I'm gonna grapple you from behind. What's that thing that's hard behind my asshole? Oh, that's you behind me. Oh, let me get behind you. Reversal. Now my balls are hard behind your asshole. Like, what is this, bruh? And of course, they get in there and they do their typical stupid ass strong style AEW jack off material nonsense. Slap me in the chest. Now I slap you in the chest. Now you slap me in the chest. Now I slap you in the chest. Oh, wait, let's make this more exciting. Slap me in the titty. I'll slap you in the titty. You want to slap me in the titty? I'll slap you in the titty. Oh, boy. And then they do other stupid slap me in the titty bullshit spots. Then they get to another spot where Jon Moxley kicks him in the head. And, Shibata, he's like, well, Dave Meltzer claimed that I got brain surgery and they took my brain out. Maybe they didn't put it in correctly. Maybe they put it in fucking backwards. Maybe they took my heart out also. Maybe they put maybe they put my brain where my heart is at and my heart where my brain is at. Maybe they put my dick in my head because I'm a dickhead. I don't know what the fuck. Jon Moxley started to kick him in the head over and over again. And Shibata's asking for more kicks. Again, stupid, nonsensical, garbage ass, strong style bullshit spots that you've been seeing for like the last 20 years. That has never been good. It's always been a mockery of professionalism. professional wrestling. I wish they would fucking stop. They're a complete and utter fucking embarrassment. And then Jon Moxley won the match. He won the match. I shit you not. That's the entire match. Slap me in the titty, kick me in the head, choke me out. 5 minutes. Bob's your uncle. Only good thing about this is it didn't last long, right? It didn't last long. It lasted about as long as a Renee patty kick in Jon Moxley's sex session, right? But afterwards, Jon Moxley is leaving the ring, and look who comes out. The twinks, the young fucks, whatever you want to call them. What does Jim Cornette call them? The Harley Boys? Whatever fucking negative connotation you want to attach to them, it doesn't matter, okay? They're a fucking human embodiment of fucking negative connotations, right? They come out, they tell Jon Moxley, hey, good job, Jon Moxley. Great job. No, actually, excellent job. Now we're together. We can form a stable of people who kill ratings for a fucking living, okay? We could probably call ourselves the Penitentiary. Why? Because we're about to get life for us committing actual murder to this fucking show with the amount of people who most likely turned from the fucking channel as soon as all three of these dickheads were shown on TV together. But Jon Moxley leaves, right? Nosferatu, he fucking gallops out of the goddamn ring with Ronda Rousey with less charisma, right? And then the ring is left to the Young Bucks. I shit you not. This is all one segment, right? The Young Fucks, they start to talk. Again, what the fuck are they going with this? I don't know. And the sad part about it is they're the ones that made the most sense out of all the people that came out during this segment. And yes, I'm calling it a segment because all of this happened before the commercial break, the first one. I fucking shit you not. The Young Bucks, they start to babble on about them being back and how they have so much in common with Jon Moxley and his dick riders. They actually accomplished something. Yeah, you're right. They actually did accomplish something. They managed to drag your low number even lower, which is a fucking miracle, because I could have sworn that the red flags were being flown and you guys were throwing shit at the wall when you did your gay ass stable. But like I said, you're right, he did accomplish something. He did that as the world champion. That's a fucking accomplishment, right? That's an awesome accomplishment. To be number one and last at the exact same time takes a lot of fucking skills. You're right about that, Matt, or Nick, or Dick, or Fat, whatever the fuck your names are. But while he's talking and the other she-male is talking, eventually they call out Jon Moxley. Come back into the ring, Jon Moxley, my boy. Let's join forces and let's actually cremate this company. We already took it off life support. The least we can do is fucking cremate this company, right? And while they're calling out Jon Moxley to come back, Kenny Omega, he comes out. What the fuck is he talking about, right? I don't know. He had one of the worst fucking promos I think I've ever seen. And that's fucking saying something, because Jon Moxley had one of the worst promos I've ever seen. Then the Young Bucks had one of the worst promos that I've ever seen. And somehow Kenny Omega went over there and he definitely said, you know what, man, guys, we're shooting for the stars here. Record upon records. Let me try to top you with my fucking garbage, right? And Kenny Omega, he tried to, I don't know, talk about this story about two dogs fucking and the assholes, and now they're letting shit all over the carpet because they keep fucking each other deep inside the asshole. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I don't know where the fuck they're going with this. They're just talking. They're just saying words. Kenny Omega's now talking and he's saying words. He's making this bullshit comparison. And I swear to God, this man lost his train of thought. I shit you not. Either he lost his train of thought or something happened off camera. Because he paused, I heard a thud, and then he started to continue talking, but I swear to God, he just stopped talking about the Shih Tzu fucking metaphor that he was trying to make a comparison to. Clearly, he was trying to get across the fact that the Young Bucks are fucking up the company while he's gone. As if, you know, Kenny Omega was the savior or whatever the case may be, right? But while he's talking about this, he eventually, because again, he was not going anywhere with this. I don't know where he was going. He was just talking. Just like Jon Moxley, just like the Young Fucks, they just were talking words with no substance, no goal, no reasoning. They're just running their dick lips. I don't know, and I'm so confused, and my brain hurts, and I swear to God, I feel like Shibata, but unlike Shibata, my brain is actually in my head straight. Eventually, Kenny Omega, because he couldn't keep up with what the fuck he was saying, he was like, you know what? I'm not a good promo. Let me just go in the ring and just fight you guys. And while he's getting into the ring, he steps foot on the apron. And then we hear Yamcha. Yes, Yamcha. Yamcha Okada. He's coming out to the fucking ring, right? The coin flip. Bling. He comes out to the fucking ring, and I guess him and the Young Fucks are about to jump fucking Kenny Omega, and then Swerve Strickland throws his dumb ass outside of the ring, right? He's coming into the ring, and I can't follow any of this shit now, bro. Swerve Strickland is coming into the ring. The only thing that made sense to this segment is that he brought a chair out to the fucking ring. Now, why not take the chair and go after the Young Bucks, or, you know, for an example, do something? I don't know. Just do something. Attack them from behind. Do something. They cost you your world championship, buddy. You know, he comes out to the ring with the chair. He's right next to Kenny Omega. They stare deeply and lovingly into each other's eyes. Swerve is like, I love you. Kenny's like, I love you too, but I ain't coming for you, nigga. I'm gonna come all over you. And then they stare each other lovely in the eyes, and then they touch each other's knuckles. I mean, I guess that was some, I don't know, ceremonial dick touching segment. I don't know. The Young Bucks and Yamcha, they leave the ring, and this segment. Oh, and did I forget to mention, because all this happened in one segment, Swerve Strickland was attacked from behind from fucking Hobbit Boy over there, right? 3-Pac, 4-Pac, 5-Pac, huh? 1-Pac, 2-Pac, 3-Pac, none. Whatever the fuck his name is, bruh. He eventually strolls his ass out. He attacks Swerve Strickland from behind. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he got a text message from Booker T that says spin the block. I don't fucking know. And then they have a goddamn match. And it was boring. And it went just as quick, in my opinion, as the John Moxley and the Wrestler. It went as quickly as their gay ass match. And this... So Swerve won the match, and it just went on commercial right now because now they're setting up for some stupid ass 8-man tag match. This is their opener, folks. This is their fucking opener. Mind you, it is 8:35. 8:35 of just complete nothingness. When I say this was the epitome of fucking nothing, this was the epitome of fucking nothing. I don't know what they're trying to set up. I don't know what they were trying to come across as. The Young Bucks barely even spoke in the Swerve Strickland stuff. They essentially just said, we wanna, I don't know, like, touch dicks with John Moxley and his group. They didn't even talk about the situation with Swerve all too much. I don't even know. I still don't know the reason why they attacked Swerve. Honest to God. They didn't really explain it. And if they explained it, maybe I drowned it out because I got tired of having shit in my ears and I had no tissue around to clean it out. Like, this was horrible. This was bad. This was all fucking bad. They did not cook. They burnt. This was terrible. All of it. Every single thing that happened in this segment. And let me reiterate myself. This was one segment. Oh, and can I put the cherry on top of the shit Sunday? The main event tonight has nothing to do with the World Championship. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, it is the Dick Riders involved, right? So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. You never know when fucking with AEW. But what I do know, that it's the Dick Riders taking on the Ops. Hook and Samoa Joe, and you know you're down bad. You know your company has done fucked up, right? You know your company has hit complete fucking rock bottom, okay? When you have a Samoa Joe match that I can't even bear to give even the slightest shit about, that's when you know you're done fucked up royally. Okay, let's continue with this god-awful show. I mean, we're already damn near fucking halfway through the show with all of this nonsense. We're damn near halfway through the fucking show. So, hey, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. I mean, you guys managed to cram a bunch of bullshit into one segment. So now it's probably over with. So maybe it makes the show go by just a tiny bit faster. But I would like it if you can go just a little bit faster, okay? As a matter of fact, I want you to go at the speed of fucking light, okay? Fuck me. Goddamn, bro. We're in for a wrestler. We are in for a fucking night. I just don't, I don't get Tony Khan sometimes. I don't get AEW in general. I see this commercial right here of them bragging about being the longest tenured company as far as wrestling is considered on TBS. Like what the fuck does that even mean, bro? Or Turner Broadcasting, I guess, in general. What does that mean? That means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Great, you lasted longer without going up against WWE. That means fucking nothing, but put that to the side. I swear, they'll do like 5 terrible things and then they have one good thing, and then you ask yourself, why don't you focus on the good thing? You see how people are reacting, why don't you focus on fucking that? So just to kind of give you some of the good stuff so far, you got Megan Bayne, which as far as the 7 is considered, who cares? But Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne, they got titties, and that's all that matters, like just titties. I still don't understand how Joey Janela is banging Megan Bayne right now. That right there is a concept that I will never understand, bro. It's like Jupiter's big red spot. Things that are just unexplained and it just fucking happens to be there. I will never get that. And yeah, some other good stuff. Like they recapped the stuff with FTR and Edge and the shit that happened on Sunday, and they kind of focused the camera on Tony Schiavone specifically to get his comments on what happened with Dax and Cash. And he specifically talked about Dax and his relationship with his daughter and how disappointed she would be knowing that he did what he did to Edge. So I'm pretty sure they're going to try to do something with FTR and Tony Schiavone to maybe get more heat on them. That's good. You also had this little segment backstage with Hangman Adam Page and Prince Nene, where Hangman comes inside the locker room. He confronts Prince Nene. He tells him, hey, I got a match next week inside the stupid ass tournament. If Swerve even thinks about getting involved in this, I'm going to finish what I started. And then Prince Nene, while Hangman was walking out, tried to stop him and try to apologize for all the things that he put him through and Swerve put him through. And, you know, Hangman said, don't even try this shit. No, you don't get that justification. You don't get to fucking have the last word on this situation. You need to live with what you did. That was another great segment, great character development. I want to see more of that. And then to put the cherry, right, on now this none shit Sunday, as far as these segments are considered, you had an excellent segment with the Hurt Syndicate and MJF. I like that. I want to see more of that. I like the optics of the Hurt Syndicate looking like the Nation of fucking Islam, and then you have the Jewish person walking inside the ring. Also, shout out to MVP. I know some of y'all youngest might not get this, but that brand Nubian reference was lit as fuck. I caught that. Punk's, what he said, what was the Brand Nubian song he shout out? Oh yeah, Punk's jump up to get beat down. I might use Brand Nubian as one of my background songs later on, you know, down the line. That's a great fucking song. Shout out. But fuck Lord Jamar though, he's a bitch. But you know, all of that was great, but it wasn't as focused on as this stupid ass match. You had this dumb ass 8-man tag match, and it just undercuts all the good stuff. A nice segment to recap, and it looks like what they're trying to push is the Tony Schiavone angle with FTR to get more heat on them. I like that. The character development with Hangman Adam Page, I like that. Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford showing titties, I like that. The segment with the Hurt Syndicate and MJF trying to plead his case as to why he should be in the Hurt Syndicate. You know, you get the Batista's thumbs up, and Shelton Benjamin, he gives the thumbs down. It kind of, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it does seem a little bit like they're kind of ripping off the, you know, the bloodline angle a little bit with Sami Zayn and Roman and Jey Uso. It does kind of feel like that a little tiny bit, but you know, I'm okay with it. It's not as if they haven't done that segment before the bloodline, and I'm pretty sure they're not gonna stop after the bloodline. I'm okay with this. I like it. I want to see more of it. Not to mention, I really want MJF to join the Hurt Syndicate because I want to see how that actually looks going forward. All of that is fucking great. And like I said, we get this dumbass 8-man tag team match that just undercuts all of that, bruh. This match was stupid as fuck. Like, all of this was stupid. It's more of this goofy ass... Bro, they're so fucking goofy. And one particular spot that I want to focus on real quick, and it just illustrates how terrible their producers are backstage. Now, once again, very similar to the segment being done with the Hurt Syndicate and kind of borrowing tropes from the Bloodline and stuff like that. Again, not the worst thing in the world, because it's not as if we ever seen that angle in the past, right? But it's a whole nother thing when you do it with moves. I hate that shit. I hate when wrestlers do regular moves when they're already finishers on the roster in itself. Now, again, don't get it twisted. What I was referring to when I say kind of doing a playback, right, of doing all the stuff with segments kind of copying off of other segments. It's not as if Ricochet doing the swerve stomp, you know, standing position hasn't been done before. You know, obviously you got it with Kofi Kingston. He does that move a lot, right? What's homeboy's name? Oh man, the bearded dude, the little fucking guy who looks like Bryan Danielson a little tiny bit, who was trained by the Hardy Boys. Cameron Grimes. He does the same thing too with the fucking, you know, double foot stomp to people who are standing. But that's one of Swerve's signature moves. Granted, he does it from the turnbuckle, although he does it from a standing position sometimes also. Why is Ricochet, where it's not even known for him to be within his repertoire as far as his moveset is considered, why is he doing that? Don't do that. You have somebody on your roster who actually actively does that move as a fucking finisher. Why take that move and downsize it to do it on your opponent as if you need to do it? It's just a fancy move for you, but for other people, it's their actual fucking signature. Don't do that. And I'm tired of wrestlers. He's not the first person to do that shit. Other wrestlers do that dumb shit too, and I'm fucking sick and tired of that shit. Stop doing that. But like I said, does it really matter in the end of the day? Because again, the whole match in itself was a complete fucking nothing. They try to give it a gimmick of whoever wins this match gets $400,000. There's no person outside the ring holding a bag of cash, no nothing. It's just putting something on the match just to call it a fucking gimmick, and it was dumb. It served no purpose. You only did it because you just wanted an excuse to have your stupid ass, high-flying, goofy, garbage ass matches, which this is exactly what it was. It was stupid and it was garbage. Some missed spots, for an example, like you had Mark Briscoe and fucking Mike Gailey trying to do their trying to do like a at the same time, right? They're trying to do the little fucking Karate Kid crane kick at the same time, and they botched that a little bit because they mistimed it. It's all just unnecessary garbage, goofy bullshit, and that match took up another fucking, like, what, it felt like at least 20 minutes. Like, right now it's 9:22. This is only my second recording in regards to the segments that I'm talking about right now, and that match literally took us into the second hour. It was just nonsense. It was complete fucking nonsense. When you can use that time to focus more on segments and developing that a little bit more, maybe you can use that time to flesh out some of these dumbass segments you've been producing throughout the night. Like, I don't know, your fucking world champion, for an example. Instead, you fucking give a lot of time to this tag team match, bro. A lot of fucking time. The segment with the Hurt Syndicate and MJF probably lasted about 8 or 7 minutes. But of course, you give damn near 20 minutes to this stupid ass tag match. It's garbage. It's stupid. It gets nobody fucking over. No one relates to this shit. I'm going to put something in the intro. I didn't do it yet, but you're going to probably see it in the intro so I can just illustrate this point a little bit more. There's a segment I seen on Twitter earlier today, right? Or not a segment, but a post that I seen on Twitter today with Rockstar Spud spelling this out as easily. And it's not as if I haven't said these before. It's not as if people like Jim Cornette hasn't said this before. Where it's like the moments, segments, promos, those are things that are going to be remembered. You know what's funny? That triple threat match that they're calling the greatest triple threat match in AEW history has already probably been forgotten about. The whole Kenny Omega, Ricochet, Speedball, Mike Gailey bullshit, it's already forgotten about already, because no one, I repeat, no one remembers your clusterfuck garbage matches. What we remember are segments and moments. That's what we fucking remember. And they just can't get it through their head. Like I said, all that time dedicated to this stupid ass tag team match, all that time, which could have been split up to get more people over. You could have used that segment to get more women over, give them some time to talk in the microphone, do some other shit. Instead, you all 4 of those segments that I talked about that were good probably couldn't even make up half the time you gave to this stupid ass tag team match. Like I said, 10 steps forward and like 3,000 steps backwards. Stop doing this lunacy. Stop doing this fucking dumb shit. It makes me feel as if Tony Khan doesn't care. It makes me feel as if you know what works, you know what gets over, but instead you choose to get over your bullshit over what actually fucking works. It's selfishness, it's laziness, it's garbage. It's fucking garbage. Speaking of garbage, right now we got Thunder Rosa taking on Chris Statlander in another one of these dumbass tournaments. So I guess let's get to that. Not as if we're going to review it anyways. Who fucking cares? But yeah, that pissed me off, man. All that time and all that good stuff that you were doing with the segments that actually fucking matter, that's going to actually sit with people, but instead half the fucking time dedicated to those half the match dedicated to the fucking tag team match. That time probably couldn't even make up all 4 of those segments that were actually used to actually bring meaning to your show tonight. Fucking stupid, man. Let's continue on with the show. It's frustrating. It's actually frustrating when I see shit like that. Well, I already know the people on Twitter are going to start bitching and moaning and complaining and groaning about this segment. Mark my words, folks. People are going to be bitching about this segment right here. And you're going to probably be like, Devontae, bitching? What do you mean bitching? What do they do in AEW to make you believe that they're going to bitch and moan on Twitter and in the IWC? Well, I mean, breathing the wrong way will get you bitched out on the IWC Twitter forums and shit like that, right? But in particular, the Hurt Syndicate. So they had another segment backstage. I know, right? Give all the segments to, these guys, with all due respect. I mean, they're awesome, but they're not the world champion. But give them all the segments and not your world champion. I mean, I don't blame you because John Moxley's your world champion, but that's besides the point. Bobby Lashley and Shelton and MVP were talking a little bit about the whole MJF stuff when what's the girl's name? One of the announcer girls or the the interviewers came in and tried to get a word from them, and they walked away. Right, Bobby Lashley walked away after Shelton Benjamin made a joke of something happening, and Shelton went to go talk to him, which is kind of funny because I mean they didn't even walk 3 feet away before MJF came inside the room. I guess we're supposed to pretend they didn't cross paths with each other or whatever, but when he told the interviewer that he didn't need to talk to her, he wanted to talk to MVP, on her way out, he smacked her ass. Which, for me and you, that's not a big fucking deal. Who cares? MJF is a heel, right? That's the whole point. But I guarantee you on Twitter right now, as we speak, they're complaining and they're bitching and they're groaning and mourning. Oh my God, MJF, he put his hands on a woman. Oh, you guys are promoting sexual harassment. Oh, Tony will look at him. God almighty. Squawk, 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 squawk. Right? That's all I got to say about that. I just wanted to touch on that. They didn't really have much to say about the segment besides, MVP pretty much telling MJF to prove himself to the boys, essentially. But I just felt like I wanted to touch on that because I know the IWC are probably going to bitch about that. But what I'm going to bitch about is this segment with Jericho, right? What the fuck is that in my mouth? Holy shit, what is that? God damn. No Diddy. Pause. Actually, there is one more thing. Adam Cole talked. Okay, cool. Now we can move on. Jericho and this segment right here. It wasn't bad. I just don't care about the learning tree. It's not as if they did anything necessarily wrong. I just don't care. It's like every stable Jericho fucks with. It's just a mismatch of a bunch of guys who have no business being together. You know what I mean? Like the inner circle, none of those guys really felt like they had any business working with each other when you look at all the gimmicks attached to it, you know what I mean? Then Jericho does the shit with the Jericho Appreciation Society. As a matter of fact, here, Jericho still, hang on for a second. You see what I mean? Like, that's a perfect example. What just happened right now? Jericho, he's like walking to his Escalade or limousine or car or whatever, and he's breaking shit with his bat. But it's like, there's like no significance to it whatsoever. It's like he's just doing shit for the sake of doing shit. That's what the segment felt like. It felt like he just wanted to show aggression for the sake of showing aggression. Like you had Jericho come out. He was bitching about the stance and the current situation with the learning tree and, like the rest of the guys came out, Wild Bill Hiccup and the Bounty Hunter, they come out and, Wild Bill takes the mic and he starts to read Jericho the riot act, essentially saying, hey, either use us or lose us type of shit. And then Jericho, he starts, destroying shit inside the ring. And he's like, you guys need to show some more anger and passion and, you need to help me out. And, when I lose, you lose. When you lose, I lose. And until you guys can figure that out, like, I need to go away. And it's like, again, if this means Jericho's leaving for a little bit, that's all good. I'm cool with that. But it's just, I don't know. It just felt like it was aggression for the sake of aggression without any reasoning for the aggression. And like I said, I just can't bring myself to give a shit about the learning tree. I just don't care about the learning tree. And until you can give a reason, make me care, do something. I mean, Jericho has been a loser for so long. And it pains me to say it because he's my favorite wrestler of all time. And I just don't care about Jericho. And I don't care about the learning tree. So it's like, it's not as if what they did in this segment was necessarily horrible. I mean, I like the development and the characters, but you're going to have to work a lot harder than that to get me to want to give a shit about the learning tree and any of the participants within them. But yeah, that's essentially it. Coming up next is the main event, and again, I can't stress this enough. To have Jericho, to have Samoa Joe in the main event, and to have me feel so deflated about it is just such a fucking crime, and it's such a fucking travesty. But hey, it's the Dick Riders that are a part of this, so maybe we'll get some tie-in to the beginning of the show. But it's AEW and it's the main event, so 9 times out of 10 they're not going to do anything. But hey, I'm willing to wait it out though. Let's see what happens. with another pointless main event. What is... I don't even understand. What is the point of these overruns? Like, they go after 10 o'clock, and I don't even get it anymore. Like, I don't understand the point of these segments anymore. I don't even understand the point of an overrun. It's like, do they do this shit just for the sake of doing it because it makes things feel special without actually having to put in the work of making things feel special? I remember when growing up and watching Monday Night Raw, and some of those shows would have overruns. Not all the time. Raw would typically go off the air at 11 o'clock. It was from 9 to 11. Spike TV or USA, depending on what era you watched. It would go off at 11, and sometimes it would go off at 11:10. 11:15, like sometimes, but it was for a reason. There were things happening for... If you can't get your shit together to make these shows go off the air on time, because like you're not doing anything. What is so important for these shows to have such an overrun is beyond me. It's beyond me. I don't get it. You can let this show go off the air at 10. It still would not make a difference regardless. This was pointless. This was stupid, man. How is this a follow-up from one of the worst main events you've ever done? You would think that they would go out of their way to do something. We don't have a path for Jon Moxley yet. Nor do I really give a shit, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be what is it? We're going to Double or Nothing, right? So it's going to probably be an Anarchy in the Arena match for the main event. They're so ass, dude. Oh my god, the show is so ass. They're so bad at what they do, bro. So, the main event was about as lackluster as you can think it would be. Samoa Joe and Hook ended up beating... God, my head hurts. My head hurts from this show. Every week my head hurts after watching the show. I need an aspirin on the side, off rip. The Ops ended up beating the Dick Riders to no one's shock. Who cares? And then afterwards, Jon Moxley came out. I mean, maybe that's a plus. The World Champion got 2 segments. I mean, it was pointless, but I guess he got 2 segments and it was the main event. While he came out, Ronda Rousey with less charisma comes out with a chair. She ends up taking out Samoa Joe, and then they together... All of them came out and they jumped Hook. Cesaro put a chair up and the legs were sticking up, and then he ended up hitting the neutralizer on Hook on the upside down chair, and no one cared. It's crazy to me also that you got Taz sitting right there on the announcement tables and he just picks and chooses when to be concerned for his son. Maybe this would have worked or helped out a little bit if Taz would have ran out in the ring and checked on Hook. And then maybe the Dick Riders could have jumped Taz, and maybe you can get them more personally involved. I mean, in reality, you know, the Ops just kind of stuck their nose in their business, right? It's not as if Jon Moxley really did anything to the Ops. He literally did. All of them, they just stuck their nose in the Dick Riders' business with no real explanation, besides the fact that they want the Trios Championship. That's not a good enough reason. But you could have helped out if you would have jumped Hook and then Taz would have came in the ring, and maybe Jon Moxley could have done something, and who cares? That means effort, and it's AEW, so no effort's gonna actually be made to make any of this shit make any fucking sense whatsoever. I swear, Jon Moxley and this dick, he needs to go, bruh. I mean, Jericho looks like he's about to go on a little hiatus. Can Moxley do the same thing? Can the Dick Riders all go away? All of them, just please go away. No one wants you guys. You guys ruin everything. You're the worst stable. You're the worst champion. This whole fucking run, this everything about them that's attached to them is just, it's just nothing but fucking garbage. And it's like every single fucking week, it's the same fucking trash. Like, even if they were to do something good, they can never go off the air making you feel good, making you feel as if you were somewhat accomplished watching the show, right? They don't treat their main events like they're supposed to be treated, which, you know, I would think would be like a cliffhanger, giving people a reason to want to tune in to Dynamite next week, giving people a reason to want to tune in to Collision this week. Them announcing the card for Collision that no one cares. No one watches Collision. No one fucking cares about Collision unless you're an AEW diehard. And they just simply can't fucking get it. They just don't get it. They don't. They expect you to tune in to a different show when you already hate the original show, and they give no reasons for you to watch that show because you already hate the original show. It's wild. It's wild, man. And they keep doing this. Tony Khan thinks he's cooking, and let him tell you, I seen the press conference on Sunday. He thinks there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He thinks there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. You have by far some of the worst champions that have ever existed on your fucking roster. You have by far some of the most shittiest fucking matches I've ever seen. And it's like some of the better things are happening with people who you don't put focus on legitimately on the show compared to the people who are focused on, like the Will Ospreays and the Kenny Omegas and shit like that. It's like you're forcing us to care when we don't. Outside of your hardcore fan base, we just simply don't. This was yet another terrible show with some cool things, but nothing that was focused on for us to care for the cool things, if that makes any sense. Just another dud of a show, and this is a follow-up to the last show, and it's like, I don't have a reason to care, man. I just simply don't. In reality, I would like to see more of the Hangman stuff, but you don't give it a lot of focus. I would like for the MJF and the Her Syndicate stuff to have more of a better priority on this, because that's actually somewhat engaging. But you don't care about that enough to want to do much with that outside of giving it 5-minute segments and delegating the majority of that time to just garbage matches. Then you give us a failed main event, and it's like, it's the same shit. The same shit every single fucking week. You hope for better, and it just always gets worse. It always gets worse, man. Like I said, another failed episode of Dynamite with one or two decent things that in the grand scheme of things don't matter. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you guys think of tonight's show? Do you have any negatives? Do you have any positives? Let it be known in the comment section below. I swear to God, if I did not have a channel, I would not be doing this. I cannot stress this enough. I don't want AEW to die either, man. That's the I can't say this enough. I want the company to thrive. But man, if I did not have a channel, I would not be following this shit. I just wouldn't. I would not care at all. This is such a drain. This shit drains the life force out of you, and it's so fucking abysmal, and it's so bad. But like I said, maybe some of you guys can find something good about the show that maybe I'm not seeing. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P, Ice.